is at an 8-month low. For 7 times, it tried to take support at 22,800, but finally on Friday, it closed below that level. Today, a fresh round of selling was triggered, and one of the key reasons for that was problems in US market. So if you want to know the reasons for that, keep on watching the video till the end. Hey folks, CA Rachna Ranade here, and I welcome you all to a very, very important video. Well, Nifty 50 is on the verge of recording its longest losing streak in 28 years if it posts another red closing on a monthly basis. Now, what do I mean by this? And for that, have a look at this. Now, if you see here, Nifty 50 chart, this is a monthly candle. It gave a closing in red. It closed below the current opening. So this is a red candle. That was the first time that you can see in October, followed by another red candle in November, another one in December, another one in January. And if we were to close in red again, this would happen after 28 years. But when has that happened in the past? So for that, let's have a look at one more data point, and for that, have a look at this. Now, if you see here, you can see that from September 94 till April 95. So this is 8 consecutive months of losses. Nifty fell by 31.4%. July to November 96, 5 consecutive monthly losses, 26% loss. Similarly, here you can see in the years 91, 98, 2001, these were all for 4 months back to back. And you can see losses of 28%, 26%, and 21% respectively. So, all in all, you might have observed that, okay, barring these two instances, so if we were to close again in red in the month of February, this will be the fifth. Why a star mark? Because the month is currently going on. This would happen after 1996. So is this something which is comparatively unusual? Answer is obviously yes, right? But there is one point that you can see here. Look at the percentage fall. Highest was 31.4. Barring this fall, the lowest is 21.8, and right now we are at, as per this article of ET, it's at 11.7, but as I shoot the video, it's a shade more than 14%. So all in all, I hope you have understood that yes, Nifty is seeing pain. No second thoughts on that. Everyone knows the reasons: weak quarterly earnings, everyone knows that FIs are pulling out money, and la la la, everyone knows these reasons by heart. But the big question remains, so what happened on Friday the 13th? Friday the 21st. That's what we're going to check in the coming part of the video. Now, what happened on Friday was that S&P Global came up with a report wherein they mentioned that there is a slump in the overall optimism and people are not expecting great things in USA and all that. I said, "Look, what's wrong?" Because when the October to December earnings came up, everyone was like, "Arey, amazing earnings. India's earnings number are not that great, but US earnings are amazing." In fact, if you have a look at this specific data, specific image, you can see that it is mentioned that US fourth quarter 2024 earnings growth said to be the highest in 3 years. Acha, by the way, this is February 13th ka report. Abhi. Now, if you also know, that was February 13th ka report. 19th February, that is this Wednesday, previous Wednesday, S&P Global, S&P 500, which is US ka index, S&P 500 hit an all-time high. And post that, we have been seeing some cool off in the US market. And in fact, Friday saw a big fall in the US market. So we have to understand. So I'll be very honest, even I, as an investor, I got confused with this, that when everything was going nice in US, all of a sudden that S&P Global comes up with a report and everyone starts saying that, Array, the optimism is not there in the market now. I said, what went wrong? So for that, we need to understand that this data that they have compiled is not of October to December 2024. It is of this month, February 2025. Okay. Now, in fact, if you have a look at the report, I'll show you. This is S&P Global Flash US PMI. Okay. Very clearly, they have mentioned what is the heading. Output growth falters. So growth somewhere questionable. Payrolls decline. So payrolls is basically the payment or overall employees. Okay. That is declining in February as optimism slumps and costs rise. Oh, 4 problems is what they are mentioning. This is a data which is collected from 10th to 20th of February. Okay, we'll understand all the points. First, pay 100% attention. This is the first time that I'm showing an actual report of S&P. Okay, because everyone will say weak sentiment in US. Full stop. What? Why weak sentiment? We have to read the report and understand what went wrong. Okay, so now this report, first things you might be like, what is this flash report? So for that, if you go down, they have also very clearly mentioned. See, flash report. I'll explain what is this flash report, but how have they compiled this data? That also they have given in the report. They have mentioned that we have compiled this entire report based on questionnaires, based on the responses that we have received, which are related to questionnaires sent to survey panels of around 650 manufacturers and 500 service providers. So many people, 650 manufacturers, 500 service providers, they were given this questionnaire, and based on the responses they have come up with this data. Okay, what have they mentioned is that we have published this flash data, and this is calculated from around 80 to 90% of the total responses. So whatever responses they have received, out of that 80 to 90% of the data was processed, calculated, and that is how they have come up with this data. You'll be like, what about balance? Will there be some updations in the data? Yes, and that is the reason why they have mentioned very clearly that final February data will be published on 3rd March for manufacturing, 5th March for services and composite indicators. Acha, so till now what we have understood, this S&P Global has come up with some numbers. Okay, they have come up with some report. Reports say that optimism is somewhere going down. Costs are increasing. So costs are increasing and overall sluggishness, basically margins will shrink. But just because they are saying margins will shrink, will that happen? Do they have some data backed for that? Yes, we are going to look at some actual data that they have presented in this report only. How did they collect the data? 650 manufacturers and 500 service providers. Achha, we know all these points till now. So first and foremost, let's understand that if they are saying that this flash US PMI composite output that fell from 52.7 in January to 50.4 in February, and this is a 17-month low. Acha, please understand, PMI is a purchase managers index. For those who have done my course on economics for stock market, you already know about it. In that, I have taught about how different economy related events impact the stock market. So if you want to learn about this course, please visit my website www.rachanaranade.com. You will get to learn a lot about economics and its connection with stock market, and I've explained this concept of PMI in absolute detail in that course, right? So coming back to our discussion, for now you can just understand and remember one thing: PMI below 50 signals a degrowth. That's what you have to remember. Okay, so overall, if I were to zoom in here and understand, you will see here the manufacturing output, you can see here manufacturing output has increased. Acha, from what to what? Let's see here. Manufacturing output is in fact at 11-month high, 53.8 versus 51.8. So is there a problem in manufacturing? No, no problem in manufacturing. What about services? So two components are manufacturing and services. Manufacturing has increased. Services, 25-month low from 52.9 to 49.7. And as I mentioned, anything below 50, it's bad. It signals degrowth. So you can see services is this purple line top. It's below 50. You can see here. And what is very interesting is you will see that the composite output index is also at 50.4 versus 52.7, just above 50. And you can see that has also sharply come down. You can see our composite is in blue color here. Oh, you can see a very nice correlation between services and composite. See, when services was going up, composite was going up. And you can see, in short, purple and blue line going in tandem. Composite basically has a bigger weightage to services as compared to manufacturing. Almost 70-80% weightage will be given for services. Barely balance will be given for manufacturing. Okay. So please understand that if this is down, not considered as a good sign. Okay. Is this resulting into degrowth or stagnation? Yes. Now this stagnation combined with inflation can lead to something called as stagflation, and it is not a very good sign. Of course, this is very early to say that US may enter stagflation and all that. But we have to understand what do we mean by this. So stagnation is what we have understood. What about inflation? So for that, we are just going to come down and have a look at some important points here again. So if you see here, I'm just going to zoom this in. What can we see is that for manufacturing input prices, you can see this bluish color. Okay, input prices. Just have a look at this. Sharp increase, again a sharp increase. So input increasing, input prices are increasing. Why? Inflation. Okay. What about manufacturing output prices in yellow? They are not increasing as sharply as input. So what will happen? Their input costs are increasing, but they are not able to pass that on to their customers. What will this lead to? This will lead to shrinking margins, right? Same thing is with service input costs. Purple line. Is it increasing? Yes. And service prices charged, they're declining. So now, will this also lead to overall shrinking of the margins in service sector also? Absolutely yes. So all in all, what they have mentioned here is that a lot of pain. So stagnation is what you have understood. Inflation can be seen with the input costs, and they are not able to pass it on to their consumers. That is the reason why their margins will shrink. All these are the problems that are very much visible from this report. They have also mentioned one important point here. You can see that yes, all these things combined with what? Widespread concerns about the impact of federal government policies ranging from spending cuts to tariffs and geopolitical developments. All these are in fact bringing in more and more pressure on the US economy, on the overall, US market per se. So when all, when such things come up, are they going to directly impact the market? Yes, that is one side of the story. Second side of the story says गिरने के लिए कुछ बहाना चाहिए. Market was at an all time high. There has to be some news. In Marathi we say कावळा बसायला आणि फांदी तुटायला. If you didn't understand this part, it is okay. What do I mean by this? Market needs a reason to go down, and this report just gave a reason for the fall from ATH. But if you were to ask me, this is something which does need attention. This states that there could be a possible problematic situation in the calendar year 2025. Well, we started this video by mentioning that we were defending 22,800 for a long time, but what led to the crack? Why did we go below 22,800? And we said the first reason, the foremost and most important reason, was the report that came up on Friday, which gave in a fresh round of selling. But is that the only reason why our markets are in pain right now? Answer is no. There are few more reasons which we'll quickly discuss now. The second reason that I would want you all to focus on would be the Trump's reciprocal tariff. In simple words, it's nothing but tit for tat. What has he mentioned? That he has mentioned that we will impose reciprocal tariffs from April. So they're yet to be imposed. It is yet to be started. It is going to be starting from the month of April. And according to a Citi research report, it is mentioned that this could potentially lead to losses of $7 billion annually for Indian economy. So it's going to be a pretty big number, right? So what would be interesting to watch is how do we cope up with these tariffs. And if you want to know a little bit more about this tariff wars, you can definitely check out this blog that we have done on our website, rachanaranade.com. So I hope you have understood tariffs are definitely going to create more problems. That is going to have an impact on our economy. And if it is going to create an impact on the economy, obviously stock markets are going to react negatively. The third point is the China angle. Now, if you know this, since October, India has lost a market capitalization of almost $1 trillion. And in the same time frame, that is from October 2024 till date, China has gained a market capitalization of almost $2 trillion. Some believe that a lot of FIIs may still go ahead with the theme of sell India and buy China. In fact, I read a report by Bank of America which says that Indian allocations are right now at a 2-year low. So now please understand, one way to look at things is that everything is bad, we are at a 2-year low, this, that. But the other side is that how much more. I mean, we are already in Andaz Apna Apna, I think there was a dialogue, Mare hue ko aur kya marna hai. So already we are at a 2-year low. How much more are they going to sell? So there could be a chance that somewhere they'll stop selling and somewhere the allocation again may shift from China to India. So again, time will tell when will this happen, right? FIIs, the number 4 reason, they are selling relentlessly, and I'm sure everyone knows by now that in the year 2025 itself, they have sold more than 1 lakh crore rupees. That's a 1 trillion rupees of Indian equities sold, and that's what they've pulled out from our markets. So again, it'll be really interesting to see when do they stop selling and when do they start buying into the Indian theme. So when that happens, of course, we may have some breath of relief. Now let's come to technical analysis to understand how much more pain, and for that have a look at this. I've told you many times, according to me, market should not go below 21,800. How much have we fallen and what is the pattern that we have seen? If you see here, from here to here, there was a down move followed by an up move, again a down move, again an up move, and here you can see we have fallen till here. What if we go till here? How much more fall would that translate into? So for that, first we'll check the percentage falls. So in the first down move, we fell by almost 11%, right? In the second down move, we have fallen by almost from here to here. That would translate to around 8%, right? And in the final, I'm saying this, in the final down move, we will go From here to what is the question? We are already down by 5%. Even if we were to go to 21,800, that will still translate into a similar fall of the second down move, which will be around 8%. So I've been saying this so many times. I see barely last 3-4% fall should be remaining, post which we should start seeing some sort of recovery. And what we have said in so many past videos, we have talked about price wise correction, time wise correction. We are in a classic time wise correction right now. We are taking time to fall. Like we saw, that's where we had begun the video, right? That when there were 5 consecutive months of back to back closing in red, we had fallen by 20%, 30%, and whatnot. Right now we have fallen only, we have to say, only by 14% in 5 months. And that's again a classic example of time wise correction. So I want you all to tell me that if you enjoyed this video or not. If you did, don't forget to smash the like button. I want you all to tell me which video should I cover, which topic should I cover in the next video. We have done this series on what's wrong with multiple stocks, right from Suzlon to Tata Motors to IRFC. We have done so many videos. Do let me know in the comment section which one would you want next. Would you want Bajaj Housing Finance or CAMS or RECPFC or any other stock? Let me know in the comment section. Maximum answers for any specific stock, I would definitely cover that for you. Don't forget to smash the like button one more time, reminding you. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye bye.